by. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Well, I have got a great show for you today. Steve Jones joining me here today, celebrity hypnotherapist. He has got an exclusive CD recordings for past life regression, weight loss, and wealth obtainment. Tonight, he's on the show to share what he's learned, what it is that we can know to thrive in every part of our lives. That is my guest today. I'm so thrilled to have Steve G. Jones joining me here today. And you know why? Because we're going to be talking about this idea of making a positive change. When I first started the show, it was kind of interesting. People said to me, "You're nuts. There's never going to be a place for this kind of talk radio on the planet." Well, I got to tell you, 5 years later, we're going strong. Thousands of listeners across the globe, and we're having a blast because I get to talk with people like my guest tonight. And so he's joining me here today as someone that has devoted his life to making sure that you, that I, that all of us achieve our goals easily. Tonight you're in for a super, super treat. Whether the problem that you're having has to do with weight loss, whether it's anxiety, whether it's smoking, whether it's phobia, it doesn't matter. This is somebody that's joining us here today, a board-certified clinical hypnotherapist. He's been practicing hypnotherapy since the 1980s. He's the author of 22 books on hypnotherapy. So when people ask, who did you hear on the Dr. Pat Show that's going to talk about positive change, you could say, we heard an amazing individual who is more than committed to helping people change their lives. And so I get to have this great chat with Steve. And what I mean by that is I get to have a conversation with him that we get to share with you so that all of us can achieve optimal success in life. So we're going to talk about hypnosis. We're going to talk about how it works. But more importantly, we're going to talk about what it means and how you can attract the things in the life that you want. It's not something strange. It's reality. And so once we get into conversation here, fasten your seatbelts because you are in for a treat. What if you could have abundance, happiness, health, wealth, relationships, success? What if this is possible? Well, let's ask Steve. Steve, thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show.
Well, thank you, Dr. Pat. It's great to be here.
So, it used to be sort of this myth when people said, look, I really want it all. I want wealth. I want success. I want great relationships. And there were just a handful of people that could achieve that. What are you standing for today? Do you believe that we can achieve all of these things in life? And if so, do we have to pay a price for that?
Well, I'm standing for the individual's power to do that. And I believe that we can all have that. I believe that we all have the innate ability to achieve anything we want. It's just a matter of tapping into that. So there's really a price for not pursuing that. We live a life of less than our full attainment when we don't go for it. So going for it just is our natural birthright.
So, I was looking at the book, and, I just want to make sure that everybody knows, and we could talk more about this. You are certainly, as I said before, you're the author of 22-plus books, but you are also the author of, a book I have kind of in front of me here, which is You Can Attract It. And, I love that John Assaraf sat down and wrote the foreword to the book and some of the things he said about it and said about your work. I mean, what is it like to have somebody like John sit down and say, I'm going to write this because this guy is onto something?
Well, it's an extreme pleasure to have someone who is in the movie The Secret take on the privilege and the honor and the duty, really, of writing the foreword. So we approached John, and he wasn't familiar with the work at all, and we sent him the manuscript, and he looked it over, and he said, this is what I've been trying to tell people. This is what I want to get out there, so I'll be glad to write the foreword. So he jumped on it, and he was glad to be a part of it. And we were very honored to have someone who's so prolific in the field and so well known and just so wonderful. We were glad to have him, and a New York Times best-selling author. We were so glad to have him join the project.
So it's really kind of looking at our lives right now and asking you the question, Steve. Along the way, yeah, of course, you're the author of many books. You are, you are the hypnotherapist to many, many celebrities and many people across the globe. What are some of the challenges? What are some of the obstacles that you personally had to overcome to bring you to this very moment?
Well, it's interesting you asked that because so many times when I had my office in Beverly Hills and I was hypnotizing celebrity clients and everyday clients, the problems or the challenges, I like to call them, that they would come to me with were challenges that I was facing. So I was starting to realize more and more that everything I hadn't overcome was going to be brought to me as a challenge for me in the form of the patient coming to me and saying, hey, I'm facing this. And so here I am helping them, but I'm facing that challenge too. So I had to clean up a lot of my own challenges and really face things finally and take care of them. So the biggest challenges for me have been that I've seen portrayed by my patients were challenges that have to do with accepting abundance and living into the confident part of myself and really just putting that on every day and not shying away from it and just really stepping into the natural power that I always knew I had, but I always kind of held back from. So that was the gift that my patients gave to me and the challenge.
What did it mean to write this book, Steve? I mean, so much has been said about the law of attraction and so little is really known about it. I mean, I think you mentioned this right out of the gate. When you start the book, you say it's far from a new concept, yet it seems foreign to some people, including myself from time to time. I think all of us have a sense of what it is and how to attract things, and yet we don't seem to be able to do it consistently. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and we all face that. Just because I wrote a book about using the law of attraction does not mean that life is perfect for me and flowing along smoothly and there are never any speed bumps. We all have challenges, and the further we go, the bigger the challenges are. And I feel that the book was written for myself and Frank Mangano, my co-author. We wrote the book to just really take the secret and law of attraction to a more of a practical level. And so we have a lot of scientific research in there because people look at it and they say, hey, how can this, really work? Is there any backing for this, or is this just, hoopla? Is this just metaphysical nonsense? And really, it's backed up by science. Science shows us that when we do focus on things, our thought processes actually do generate something in the universe that allows it to come back to us. So I face a lot of the challenges that we all face. And it's not as if life's going to be perfect once you read the book and get the book, but we feel that we've put it into practical terms and backed it up with scientific evidence.
You're out in the world every day and you're working with clients across the globe. What have you discovered here recently in the past year? Have the problems changed, Steve, or are they the same old demons that have been haunting us for years?
I think that the problems or the challenges have remained consistent, and not only that, but I think that in people who are celebrities, when I look at their challenges, they're facing almost the same challenges that everyday people are, people who aren't known by anyone. So not only have the challenges stayed the same, now certainly they're exacerbated by the economy and so forth. Economic challenges are brought into the spotlight, and when people have a divorce, relationship challenges are brought into the spotlight. But for the most part, challenges are consistent over time, and they're consistent from human being to human being, no matter who they are. And that's another, I think that's one of the great reasons why the book really works, because we are so similar, and over time we stay similar as well.
When, you write in the book about many, many different things. And one of the things that I love that you write about, Steve, is you write about this thing called vibration. And, as I kind of, mentioned at the beginning when I was introducing you, You know, I mentioned that you have this exclusive CD, this release, these MP3 recordings for past life regression, weight loss, and wealth. And so how does all of that fit in to what you're trying to accomplish to raise this level of vibration, so to speak?
Well, it all ties in the sense that we have this innate power, as I mentioned earlier. We have this ability to lose weight if we want to attract wealth if we want to do anything we want if we want to. So the law of attraction simply states that what you focus on, that will magnify in your life, whether it's something negative or positive. It's going to magnify. So hypnosis brings us the same lesson. If you focus on something and believe in it, you're going to have it, no matter what it is. Whether you're trying to lose weight or stop smoking or develop a certain skill that you have naturally, but maybe need some coaching on developing it. So it all ties into the law of attraction in the sense that we can attract anything to ourselves if we simply believe.
Well, I'll tell you, I love what you're talking about. I love the message, and I also, love the book. What is it about the law of attraction that you want people to get today, and what is it about your work that you want our listeners to walk away with?
Well, the same holds true for my work as the law of attraction, which is the song I think it's by America, Oz never did give nothing to the Tin Man that he didn't already have. One of my favorite lines. So the message, as I translate it from that, would be that you don't need a book, you don't need hypnosis, you really don't need anything, because you already have the ability within you. But sometimes as humans, a little coaching, a little gentle reminder of our true power that we have goes a long way. So if you feel that you need a reminder of how powerful you already are, then a book about the law of attraction can help, can jumpstart that, get you back in the race. And hypnosis can help also. It can get you back believing in who you are so that you can take your life to the next level.
Well, we're gonna talk lots more with you, Steve. Gosh, I'm so glad you're joining me tonight on the show. It's really a pleasure and an honor to have you here. We're going to be looking at the energy behind the law of attraction. We're going to be looking at Steve's work in depth. What is hypnosis? What has this extraordinary individual discovered about hypnosis and about change and about positive change in particular? This is a conversation that so many people have been waiting to have. What is it about the recordings that Steve has tapped into? What is it about his work? What is it about hypnosis that is breaking all the barriers? Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll be back with the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By, and Steve Jones, celebrity hypnotherapist. Yeah, right here on the show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Ladies, are you living an inspired life? Do you yearn for a more passionate, dream-filled life? Here's Linda Joy, founder of Aspire Magazine, and she has a gift for you.
Aspire has launched its Mission to Inspire initiative with a commitment to give away 100,000 one-year digital subscriptions to women around the globe. Every subscription comes with a multitude of free gifts from our Team Inspiration partners.
To claim it all, go to aspiremag.net today. No purchase necessary, and live an inspired life.
Ready to manifest your heart's desire? Want to know the secret to navigating life's in-between times with confidence and skill? Ready, Set, Manifest with life coach Debbie Lacey offers real tools to coach yourself through the in-betweens and leaps in life. Say goodbye to being stuck and hello to Ready, Set, Manifest. Visit theinspiredcoach.com and join the next Ready, Set, Manifest telegathering. You're not lost. You're getting ready. Visit theinspiredcoach.com.
E-Cloth, the only cleaning solution you'll ever need. E-Cloth's fiber function does the cleaning, not a chemical reaction. Also, no paper towels or chemicals to buy, so you'll save lots of money. And E-Cloths are guaranteed to thoroughly clean for years, the whole time safer for you, your family, the environment, and saving you lots of money. As a Dr. Pat Show listener, get 20% off everything you order and free shipping. Go to ecloth.com, and when checking out, enter Dr. Pat. You'll never go back to cleaning any other way.
Reach your full potential and increase energy with the superfood of the Inca, Maca Magic. Maca naturally balances hormones, relieves symptoms of PMS, menopause, and erectile dysfunction. Maca increases energy, stamina, and endurance without caffeine. Visit macaroot.com. That's MACA root.com. Call 541-846-6222. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Neshama Living, where your optimal health begins with awareness, grows with knowledge, flourishes with proactive solutions, and is practiced as a way of life. Neshama Living is dedicated to wholeness of body, mind, and spirit. The Neshama Living Hour is coming to the Dr. Pat Show. Get ready to regain your natural balance. Take control of your health and vitality and build your foundation for wellness with Neshama Living on the Dr. Pat Show.
Remember, for our dogs and cats to live long and happy lives, just like people, they are what they eat. Wellness carefully selects wholesome ingredients to create food you can trust to provide the foundation of your pet's well-being. True wellness means every ingredient has a purpose in every recipe they make. You can trust the quality of all ingredients in wellness, from their source to your pet's bowl. Visit wellnesspetfood.com to find a pet specialty retailer near you. Wellness Natural Food for Pets, where true wellness begins. Is your soul thirsty for love this Valentine's Day? Fill it up with Aqua Mantra's I Am Loved water and feel the love with every conscious sip. You attract love into your reality when you're overflowing with love from within. Pick up a case of Aqua Mantra's award-winning premium natural spring water that flows from the abundant streams of Mount Palomar, California. Now in our brand new biodegradable and recyclable bottles. On sale at aquamantra.com/I am loved. And know you are loved.
Are you concerned about a specific health issue? Do you want to know what causes it? Are you ready to tap into the inner wisdom of your body and listen to what it is telling you? It's a scientific fact that your health condition, present circumstance, and excess weight are not the result of your diet, exercise regime, or genetic makeup. Your thoughts, feelings, and emotions all directly and specifically influence all your body functions, including heart rate, digestion, and organs. Anger is stored in the liver, resentment is stored in the gallbladder, and lack of support shows up in your back. Our bodies give us clues to how we have been thinking, feeling, and acting. Dr. Cal specializes in interpreting these clues, ignites your inner healer, and guides you step by step to continuous, positive, and lasting health changes. When you change your mind, you change your life. Get in your driver's seat today. Visit AskDrKel.com. That's AskDrKel.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By. I'm so thrilled Steve Jones is able to join me here tonight. You know, he is world-renowned, somebody that people seek out when they're ready to create positive change in their lives. Steve, thank you so much for joining me here today. You know, let's take a minute and give out your website before we jump right into how hypnosis does work.
Okay. The website people can go to for hypnosis downloads and hypnosis information and CDs and so forth is just my name, SteveGJones.com.
So let's talk about hypnosis. You know, many of us have seen the television shows about hypnosis, a lot of the movies about it. A lot of people walk away with the idea that this is like, okay, if I work with Steve, I'm going to be quacking like a duck. But we've come a long way since that impression. Could you give us a contemporary view of hypnosis?
Well, absolutely. I still deal with that a lot, though. People,
I bet you do.
made a training video the other day, and I had to dispel that myth. You always have to deal with that. You mentioned it at parties or even at formal gatherings, and people always say, don't make me cluck like a duck or bark like a dog. So we have come a long way, but those myths are still out there, and they're propagated by stage hypnotists, because stage hypnotists, for entertainment purposes, will make people do that, and that is real. Some people are that suggestible. They'll get up on stage and do that. But I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, so I'm interested in working with people in an office setting to cause positive change. This is weight loss and believing in yourself and motivation and confidence and things of that nature.
So, you know, the idea of hypnosis for a lot of people has to do with, okay, I come to see you and you work with me, I go into a deep sleep. But there is also other versions of it. Let's talk for a minute about self-hypnosis, what it is and how it works.
Okay. Well, self-hypnosis is a method of just hypnotizing yourself. So you can hypnotize someone else by telling them they're relaxing and going into a trance, and you can also hypnotize yourself. And the way to do that, in my opinion, the best way to do that is to make a recording for yourself. And so I teach quite a few hypnosis classes, and I always teach people that if you want to hypnotize yourself, make a recording of it and put it on a CD or a tape or an MP3 and listen to it at night as you go to sleep. Let it put you to sleep. But don't rely on yourself to just say, now I'm going deeper into hypnosis and so forth, because you will probably fall asleep and then no one's hypnotizing you because you're the hypnotist and you've fallen asleep. But self-hypnosis carries with it the concept that you are in control. So it's a really great way to see that portrayed, because you are changing your subconscious mind. You're putting yourself into a trance. You're telling yourself that you're going to change in a positive way, stop smoking, lose weight, gain confidence, overcome fear of flying, whatever it may be. And then you are reiterating that over a period of maybe a few days or a few weeks, hypnotizing yourself once a day, finding a time and a place to do that. And you're feeling the changes that you're bringing about yourself rather than a third party doing it. So self-hypnosis, I feel, is very self-empowering, and it works just as well as going to see a hypnotherapist as long as you have the skills to do it yourself.
There are a number of people that are instant messaging me right now and, are really captivated by what you're saying, Steve. I've got one instant message that, it must be taking information from the book or what we've said. We're talking about we change our experience to attract wealth. There's this idea of a force that is acted upon. But then the question is, what is that force, Steve? What is it that you refer to when we talk about this force that must act upon it?
Well, the force that I'm talking about is just that universal energy that's out there that we can tap into. We talk about energy and force and so forth, and there's an energy in the universe that you can tap into, and when you tap into the law of attraction, realize that you're not tapping into anything that you haven't tapped into before. We've always been attracting negative things when we think negatively. We've always been attracting positive things when we think positively. We've always been using this force, and it goes out into the universe and comes back to us. So it's kind of like the law of karma. What you do, what you reap, you're going to sow, or rather, what you sow, you're going to reap. But you are constantly under this law. People don't realize that. We all are. We're all getting back what we're putting out there. It's not just for a select few or for people who believe in it or for people who practice it. It's for all of us. It's affecting all of us all the time. So this force can be a very powerful negative force in our lives if we always surround ourselves with negative thoughts and negative people, or a very positive force in our lives if we surround ourselves with positive thoughts and positive people.
Along the way, certainly on your journey, what compelled you to take the direction you took with your life?
Well, I was fortunate in that early on I got some direction, and I had a class in high school, which was a wonderful class, a psychology class, and so immediately I enrolled in the University of Florida when I got out of high school and started on my academic training, and I just followed that up with study about hypnosis, and I started seeing how I could affect people's lives. So it started out as a kid in high school being interested in psychology and getting a book on hypnosis. I actually got a book by Leslie Lecron called The Complete Guide to Hypnosis, I believe is the name of it. And this was in the 80s, probably 1983. And then I was intrigued by it. Between that and my psychology class, I just followed up on it. So ever since I got out of high school, and even a little bit in high school, I've been practicing hypnotherapy. So I was one of those people who got lucky, who didn't have to wander around and figure out what he wanted to do with his life for years and years. I hit the ground running because I found out what I loved right away.
I love your story. I love what you're talking about, Steve. I mean, I had to wait a little bit longer to find it. But I guess we realize when we get it and we find something we love, it feels so right. When is it in the process that you have, and certainly you talk about this in the book, what is it that will help someone change quicker rather than slower? And the reason I ask this question is because coming up in the past several decades, actually the past century, there's been this idea that if you want to create positive change in your life, it may take years, if ever. And aren't we really talking about something different from that now?
Well, I believe that you can take a long time to change if you want to. You meaning the individual listening. You can spend years in a therapist's office if you want to. You can spend years in talk therapy. That course is certainly still available. But what we are talking about now is something different if people want it. It's a quick change. When hypnotherapy works, it works very quickly. And when the law of attraction works, which it always does, it works rather quickly too. There's a slight delay between the time you put out a thought and the time it comes back to you, but it's not very long at all. So the difference is that now we're inviting people to take advantage of something that has always been available. So it's always been there. We've always had the ability to be hypnotized, to change our lives. We've always had the opportunity to use the law of attraction, but now we're broadcasting it. We're making it known to everyone. So the difference is that we are literally publishing the blueprints in the book for how to take charge of your life and how to make something happen very quickly if you don't want to spend a long time doing it, and if you don't want to spend years kind of going in circles. I'm not opposed to mainstream therapy, but I am opposed to people taking longer than they have to do something that's actually very simple, and they don't realize it. So we're publishing the simple blueprint, so that's the main difference.
Well, let's talk about something very specific. We're going to talk about weight loss as well, but let's talk about something like smoking. Some people say it's one of the most difficult addictions to let go of. It's even tougher than drinking, but yet many have said that hypnotherapy is a great way to do that. Can you talk about addictions like smoking? Can you comment on that and what kind of success you've seen in your practice?
Okay. Well, I hesitate, when I work with clients, I hesitate to use the word addiction, although it is the mainstream label that
exactly.
That
I hesitate to use it too. Yeah, I hesitate to use it too. I used it here because you're right, it is so mainstream.
It helps us understand what we're talking about. So I use that word too when I'm talking to someone, such as in an interview, just so we know what we're talking about. And so I think it's helpful there. But when I work with a client, first of all, I try to let them let go of that word addiction because it feels so powerful. It feels like problem. I like to use the word challenge instead of problem, and maybe situation instead of addiction, because a situation sounds like something you can walk right out of. You walk into a situation, you can walk right out of it. You have a challenge, you can overcome it. You have a problem or an addiction, well, those sound like insurmountable things. Those sound more like mountains to me. So the first thing I attempt to do with the client is to get them to start looking at it differently, to start looking at what's going on differently, and that gives them more power. Immediately they feel more powerful compared to the situation or the challenge. And some of the success stories you asked about, I had the pleasure of working with Tom Mankiewicz, who wrote Superman, the movie, and getting him to stop smoking after 40-plus years. Here's a guy who had smoked a pack every day, had never gone 24 hours in his life, the last 40 years of his life. He came to me when he was in his 60s, but he had never gone 24 hours in those 40 years without a cigarette. So he came to me when I had my office in Beverly Hills, and he said, Steve, this is it. I've got to stop. I need some help. I've been trying for 40 years and nothing's worked. So I used hypnosis to change the way he looked at his possibilities and looked at his life. And here's a very powerful, successful man, yet a little white stick was controlling his life. A little cigarette was controlling his entire life. So I got him to change the way he looked at it, to feel big compared to the cigarette instead of small compared to the cigarette. And that is a major step that patients need to take, and that anyone needs to take when they're looking at something such as this, because it can become powerful in their lives. It can become overpowering for them because they let it get that way in their minds. So after that success, I was asked to join the board of directors of the American Lung Association in Los Angeles and help them out because they heard about my 98% success rate helping people stop smoking. So I just use a very straightforward method, which is a series of hypnosis sessions, which I've condensed to a CD now and a downloadable MP3, that helps people realize the power they have already to overcome this challenge.
Oh, my gosh. Well, we're going to talk more about this with Steve when we come back. I want to make sure everybody out there has got his website because, you know, when Steve says he's got a lot of things for you to look at, a lot of things to download, he is not kidding. Go to his website, stevegjones.com. That's stevegjones.com. When we come back, we're going to be talking with him about something he calls to being in his book, Think the Truth Despite Appearances. I love that. You're listening to the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By. We'll be right back. We'll be right back with the show. And how do we figure out what the truth is? Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you concerned about a specific health issue? Do you want to know what causes it? Are you ready to tap into the inner wisdom of your body and listen to what it is telling you? It's a scientific fact that your health condition, present circumstance, and excess weight are not the result of your diet, exercise regime, or genetic makeup. Your thoughts, feelings, and emotions all directly and specifically influence all your body functions, including heart rate, digestion, and organs. Anger is stored in the liver, resentment is stored in the gallbladder, and lack of support shows up in your back. Our bodies give us clues to how we have been thinking, feeling, and acting. Dr. Cal specializes in interpreting these clues, ignites your inner healer, and guides you step by step to continuous, positive, and lasting health changes. When you change your mind, you change your life. Get in your driver's seat today. Visit AskDrKel.com. That's AskDrKel.com.
When was the last time you were flabbergasted? Well, I was the first time I cleaned with this cloth named E-Cloth. E-Cloth claims perfect cleaning with just water on all hard surfaces and no chemicals. I started with my windows, then stovetop, and then the refrigerator. I was totally flabbergasted on how well E-Cloth cleaned everything. And I did it without exposing my family to potential health-harmful chemical cleaners. Also with E-Cloth, there's no paper towels, chemicals to buy, so you'll save money. And they're guaranteed to thoroughly clean for years. As a Dr. Pat Show listener, you'll get 20% off everything you order and free shipping. Go to eCloth.com, and when checking out, enter Dr. Pat. That's eCloth.com, 20% off everything, free shipping. You'll never go back to cleaning any other way.
Living your life to the max means that you can have everything you want. Empowerment Psychic Linda Dickinson can show you where you're headed and teach you how to change your future. Linda will share with you the messages of those who have passed before you. For a private session, visit InMyFuture.com or call 800-206-9096. Listen to Linda Dickinson on The Dr. Pat Show. Call in and hear how you can be the producer, director, and lead in your life. Today is the day to start living your life to the max. How would you like increased health and vitality? How would you like to avoid the onset of disease as well as slow the aging process? This is all possible through a simple, safe, and natural process. Every day we are either moving toward wellness or away from wellness.
Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. I'd like to be your partner in achieving optimal health. Contact me now at MaryJaneMack.com or call 425-392-0659. Visit MaryJaneMack.com.
Are you tired of the diet roller coaster? Tired of losing the weight only to gain it back again? Would you like to learn how to take the weight off once and for all? This is Cheryl Manchester from Positive Changes Hypnosis, where we help thousands of clients reach their goals and stay there. Make a lasting change in your life. Call Positive Changes in Bellevue at 888-311-7157 to schedule a free consultation. That's 888-311-7157.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By. I'm so thrilled. I mean, this is a great conversation. I am really glad that Steve is able to join us here tonight. Steve, before we get to some of the conversation about the book and a law of attraction, would you just take another minute out and let people know, first of all, how they can find out more about you, but also what's available on your website for them to download, for them to purchase?
Sure. The best way to access the downloadable MP3s or the CDs, which we can mail to you, would be to go to stevegjones.com. And on there you're going to find about 4,000 different recordings. If there's something you can't find, you can type it in the search tool at the top, or you can go to the lower left navigation, which says Complete Catalog, and you're going to find out just how vast the library is. It's the world's largest online library of hypnotherapy self-help.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing all of this with us. Early on in the book, under Vibrations, you talk about think the truth despite appearances. And in conjunction with that, you really give us a great understanding of what step one is, changing negative powers into positive powers. Let's talk a little bit about that, because so much right now, especially on the outside, especially with the media, seems to be leaving people with a sense of hopelessness and helplessness. And yet you explained step one so wonderfully, and I'd love for you to talk a little bit about that. What can we do? What is step one?
Okay. Changing negative powers into positive powers means stepping away from all of that stuff that you just mentioned that you're very aware of, that is beating down everyone every day. Because really, when you think about it, the economy goes down because of people thinking that it's going down. They stop spending. They stop hiring. And it just becomes a snowball effect. So it's kind of like one person says, hey, I think things are not going so well. And the next person says, yeah, I think you're right. And then it kind of spreads, and people start talking about that. And people love talking about negative things. They love talking about how the sky is falling. It's just sort of a bonding experience for people to get together and talk about how awful their lives are, and then the next person will share their awful story and try to kind of one-up them, and then it goes to the next person, and then the whole world kind of becomes this big group that's all talking about how negative things are, and that's what's happened to us. And the media loves it. They love thriving on that because they always want to focus our attention on something that we need our TVs for. You know, the media's big thing is you need your TV to tell you what's going on and to save you from impending doom. And if they can get you to focus on that and to keep watching that so that you'll stay alive and disaster won't strike you, then they're satisfied. As unfortunate as that sounds, that's what's going on. That's what they're selling. Mm-hmm. So I'm not really a conspiracy theorist as much as I am a realist, and I realize that TV people, the people who create TV, they've got to keep you glued to that box. And so what I'm talking about is just shutting that off. Why don't we just take a break from that? Why don't we just stop watching the news that says the sky is falling, just maybe for a few days, and realize that flowers are still blooming, the sky is still blue, there's still plenty of oxygen around, and there's still plenty of jobs around, and there's still plenty of money around. And if we start looking at reality for a change, what we're going to realize is that the wool has been pulled over our eyes. We have been shown this world that isn't really real. It's the world that's been created by all this negative talk. So changing negative powers into positive powers means, first of all, cutting yourself off for at least a little while from the non-stop influx of nonsense that comes to us all the time. Mm-hmm. And then it means taking charge of what you think. Taking charge of what you think means just starting to talk positively about yourself. Just start small with, it's going to be a nice day. And the next thing you know, the next day you can say, I'm going to find a job, or whatever the challenge may be. And the next day you can say, I'm going to create a lifetime of abundance. And though these steps seem simple, and though they seem like they may not even work, they do. They set us up for success. And then what you find is that you're attracted to other people who are also thinking positively, and then your social group becomes this empowering network.
I have to tell you, this is really interesting, Steve, that you're on here tonight. Maybe you can help me out. You know, generally every day I'm on radio 14 hours a week, and I have a daily show it's in the morning, and right before one of the stations that I'm on, they play the CNN news, right? That little snippet that they play, right? Play little news. And so today they caught me off guard. So today there was some congressman or somebody talking about the extending the unemployment benefits, and which is really good news for a lot of people. And so this individual came on and said, you know, we don't want to get too crazy with this, so to speak. I'm paraphrasing, of course. We don't want to get too crazy because, you know, people actually take advantage of it. People are actually quitting their jobs so that they can collect unemployment. And I thought to myself for a minute, you know what this sounds like? It sounds like, yeah, there are a few people that are probably kind of figuring out how to beat the Social Security system. But this is now a new language around let's not extend unemployment benefits because we think people are really quitting their jobs to collect unemployment. And I just thought to myself when I heard that, and I really took the bait, because when I got on air, you know, instead of my happy, bubbly self, I made a statement about it. I said, really? I said, Benny, are you going to, like, quit your job? And so I kind of get caught up in that. And I was just captivated, Steve, by how quickly that happened to me.
Absolutely. And it's fascinating to me when people say they don't believe in hypnosis. They say, oh, my mind is, you know, too powerful to be hypnotized. Well, none of us are beyond that. We're all, and myself included, we're all very easily influenced by what we hear, especially when it sounds like it's coming from an authority figure, like the government. You know, we accept it, and it becomes part of our thinking. It becomes part of who we are. It becomes part of our vocabulary, as you saw portrayed dramatically for you. And we are all susceptible to that. So, yeah, I'm inviting people to kind of step away from that, form their own thoughts, look outside, see that the sky is still intact, everything's okay, and if we can get enough people to do that and start thinking positively, this thing turns around. It's all driven by panic.
Well, and, you know, for me, you know, I'm probably going to apologize to my listeners tomorrow, although I had a couple of people call in and say it was the best show I've ever done. I don't know.
People relate to it, I guess.
Well, you know, I just honestly, I don't know anyone, including myself, honestly, Steve, that lost a job that would have readily quit to collect an unemployment paycheck. I don't, and maybe I'm naive, but this is, again, back to the book. You know, how do we change, quote, negative images, like even the word unemployment, you know, changing these negative images into positive images? Because we have these things in our mind, don't we? We have these images in our mind. We're going to take a short break. When we come back. Steve is, wow, this is such a great show. I can't believe the hour is flying by. Steve Jones, everyone. You can go to his website, stevegjones.com. Lots of information, lots of ways for you to get some help. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about changing negative images into positive images. What has he learned along the way? What is the power of visualization? Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By. Are you sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? Do you have excess weight you can't seem to lose? Have you been living at less than your optimal health? Your body gives you powerful information on how you've been living in your mind. Dr. Kell specializes in revealing the underlying mental and emotional causes of disease and works with you to ignite your inner healer, create continuous positive change, and heal your body. Ready to uncover the roadblocks to your health and healing? Visit her website at AskDrKell.com. That's AskDrKell.com.
Sign up for the weekly newsletter to get advance notice of guests, events, and special offers. Visit thedrpatshow.com and get ready to live life full out.
Is Egypt calling you? Join Dr. Friedemann Schaub and Danielle Rama Hoffman for an initiatory journey to Egypt, May 2010. Picture yourself meditating in the Great Pyramid, cruising down the Nile on a private sailing yacht, and exploring ancient temples in exclusive visits. For a journey that expands your consciousness and opens your heart, Call 866-903-6463 or visit EgyptIsCalling.com.
Hi, this is Ana Luque, author of The Yogurt Diet. Based on scientific research, this lifestyle has been carefully formulated to promote weight loss and boost the immune system. The Yogurt Diet will help you achieve overall balance and radiant health, even if you suffer from lactose and gluten intolerance, yeast infections, digestive problems, and more. Consuming yogurt daily is an excellent way to optimum health and ideal weight. And the yogurt I recommend is Greek God's Greek Yogurt. So thick and creamy. Greek God's yogurt is simply yogurtlicious. Greek God's yogurt is full of probiotic bacteria good for overall health. And it's made with all natural ingredients in the same tradition yogurt has been made in Greece for centuries.
Try the Greek God's popular honey yogurt or the tangy yet subtly sweet pomegranate. Don't forget to try the new Greek God's kefir cheese spread. Great for dips or as a healthy substitute for sour cream. Be happy. Go Greek. Experience the myth.
Are you tired of just surviving? Would you like to learn how to thrive? Make 2010 the start of a whole new you. Take charge by enrolling in your own personal boot camp offered by Sharon Roy of Raising Grace Coaching. In just 28 days, you will learn how to rise above your emotions and follow your heart to a life of peace, joy, and purpose. You will tap the power of your own imagination and higher wisdom to create emotional breakthrough strategies that work for you. Start thriving today. Visit raisinggrace.com or call 401-588-1799.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By. And Steve G. Jones joining me here today on the show. For those of you tuning in, please help yourself to this generous gift by Steve by going to his website, www.stevegjones.com/weightloss.htm. And we'll put a link on our website, and you will get a free weight loss hypnosis MP3. Steve, thank you for joining us here today. It's really, really great to have you on the show. I want to take a minute because we happen to have a caller that has called into the show, and I want to make sure we get that call. Who do we have on the line? Is that Linda? I believe we have Linda from New Jersey. Linda, welcome to the show.
Hi.
How are you today? How can we help you today? And I'd like you to introduce you to Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hey,
how are you?
Great, Linda. How are you doing?
I'm good. I have, a comment about the unemployment. Like you were talking about the news media getting everybody all cranked up about everything, and every time you hear something, you know, it's negative. And you can't believe all the things that you hear because things can't always be that negative. But the unemployment, I can't believe that they would say people would lose their job or quit their job just to collect unemployment, because I'll tell you, it's not pretty. But that's my 2 cents on that. But the other question that I have...
Thank you, Linda. Thank you. I had the same reaction.
Well, it is. I mean, it's pretty sick to think that people would, you know, not want to work and, you know, find a job that they're interested in. You know, maybe that's not as easy right now, but still, to do nothing and collect unemployment it's really not fun, because I'm in that situation that I'm trying to find a job. But anyway, we won't go into that. The other question that I had was, you made a comment about smoking, and I do smoke, and I don't want to smoke. And I was listening to you. I know a positive thought is that no, I'm not going to get lung cancer, and no, I'm not going to have all these other things happen to me, or COPD, or whatever you call it. How do you get a positive thought that's really going to make you change or quit? As a matter of fact, I even called a chiropractic center yesterday, and they do laser treatment, and the first thing she said to me is, you have to be ready to quit. So how do I get that positive thought, or what are the words that you would, you know, say to yourself to help you do that? Did that make sense?
It does. And there are a lot of positive thoughts you can have in the hypnosis sessions. I have a lot of different ways to treat treat smoking that I put into one recording So the main overriding positive thought is that you have to look toward the future, a future in which you will feel more in control of yourself, more in control of your life, and you will be free from this situation, this challenge that has been holding you down. Because I've never been a smoker, but unfortunately my father passed away from emphysema. He was a smoker all his life, and he died about 6 years ago. And smoking is what killed him. And there's got to be, in my opinion, from dealing with smokers, just this constant feeling of not being powerful, this constant feeling of being weak in some way. And it's got to carry over to other areas of your life, because smokers look at that cigarette and they don't want to smoke. They want to be done with it, but they feel that they can't. And that word becomes part of their vocabulary, can't. So the idea is to focus on empowering yourself and focus on a time in your life in the future when you won't have to crawl around anymore, in a sense, and feel that you are powerless, and feel that in other areas of your life, that you will feel that, hey, I did this, now I can do so many other things that I thought were limitations. So the positive thought is the future in which you will be a very powerful person. You're already powerful, but I think smokers tend to forget that. So a future in which you will have remembered your full power.
Okay. So if I keep telling myself that, that should help me to get to the point where I can say, okay, I don't need this anymore.
Well, I think that can help. I think what would be of tremendous benefit, which would really jumpstart that, would be to get a hypnosis recording or go to a hypnotherapist. That's just my bias as a hypnotherapist, of course. I don't want to equate it to surgery, because I don't believe that they're the same. But I can think that I wish I didn't have a situation that maybe surgery is required for. Not that smoking is that extreme, but kind of work with me here and go along with me for the ride. If you feel that you can do something that an expert can do better, why not let the expert do it for you? Why not take advantage of the power that's already out there? With hypnotherapy recordings, with me, for example, there's a full 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee. So that's not a sales pitch so much as it is to say that, hey, if this doesn't work, you haven't lost anything. But if it does work, you gain your life and you gain your power. So why not let a professional handle it rather than looking for the way to surgically do it yourself? Why not turn it over to someone who knows how to do it for you?
Mm-hmm. And get the support of doing that.
Absolutely.
So you're not doing it alone.
Right. And that's what you bring on your team when you enlist the services of a professional.
Mhm. Okay. Great.
So, are you ready, Linda?
I'm so close to it.
Yeah, you can do it by yourself, Linda. You really can. I want everyone to know that. They don't need hypnotherapy or anything else. They can do it by themselves. But sometimes, especially with smoking, you can beat down so much by the cigarette that it really can be helpful to have someone step in there with a strong helping hand, reach down in that pit, and just pull you out and get it over with.
Mhm. Okay. Well, I'm going to check out your website.
Okay.
Thank you.
Make it happen, Linda.
Thank you.
Get rid of that habit, one way or the other.
I'm going to work on that right now. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks for calling in. I think the fact, Steve, that she called in really does talk to the fact that she does really want to quit. I mean, not everybody will call into a show like this, that goes out to thousands of people. So, a large part of what you said is so true. But moving beyond smoking, what we're talking about is people in general. What I mean is we're talking about more than just smoking. We're talking about changing life, period. Would you please just talk to the issue of how we can literally change our lives for the better in the many ways that you afford us here?
Absolutely. And that's what it's really all about. It's not just about overcoming smoking, because then, what if the next thing comes up? And for so many people, that's the way it goes. They go from challenge to challenge. They get rid of one, and something else pops up, and then they go from that to the next thing. The idea is to pull the weed out by the roots and get rid of it once and for all. That's the way I look at it. So that's why I believe in hypnotherapy. That's why I practice hypnotherapy. That's why I preach hypnotherapy, because it gets to the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is where all this is stored. It's driving us. It's telling us to do things that will knock us down. It's telling us that we're not worthy, we're not good enough, we shouldn't have this, we shouldn't have that. And if we get in there and we rewire ourselves subconsciously from the ground up, then we get all those weeds out by the roots. We pull them out so they're not going to pop up in different parts of the yard and affect us later on. So I believe that hypnotherapy is the way to go. But for those people who don't want to go to a hypnotherapist or use hypnotherapy recordings, I can respect that. You can do what Linda was kind of alluding to, which is positive self-talk. Looking at yourself in the mirror, and it's been made fun of so many times on Saturday Night Live. I'm good enough and smart enough and doggone on people like me. They make fun of it in a skit. But it's true. It does work. Positive self-talk does work. If you just look at yourself in the mirror and say a few times a day, I am powerful, for example, or I am confident, or I am a non-smoker, it's amazing how far that can go. And it goes beyond just the initial or the immediate challenge, and it can seep into every part of our lives. Suddenly we've gotten rid of this bottleneck, which has clogged us up for so long, and everything starts to open up for us.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on the show. Wow, what a great, great show. I want to make sure everybody has the websites, SteveGJones.com, SteveGJones.com. A personal message, Steve, from you to our listeners tonight?
Well, once again, I'll just reiterate what I said earlier, which is the song by America, Oz never did give nothing to the Tin Man that he didn't already have. And that is to say that you can do this all by yourself. You can use the law of attraction yourself. You can program yourself to do anything or to overcome anything that you want. But if you feel that you need a helping hand, if you feel you need a jump start or a gentle yet powerful reminder that you are powerful, then hypnosis can be the key for you. And the book I've written with Frank Mangano, my co-author, called You Can Attract It, can be the key for you also. It can jumpstart you and put you back in the driver's seat of your life.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us here on the show tonight. What a great job. And as I said before, Steve has got lots on his website, but you heard me talking from the book tonight. I want to thank you all for tuning us in and turning us on. And remember, you truly do have everything right there inside you to live life full out. We'll see you next time on the Dr. Pat Show, everyone.